do. We got think. Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to my weekly meltdowns coverage of Yellowjackets. We're kind of going to talk about episode 4, but mostly episode 5 this week. And you're probably wondering, why are we in black? Why am I in sunglasses? Why is he in a memory of t-shirt? Because we're in mourning, people. Spoiler. If you better leave, because I'm going to say it. Crystal/Kristen's dead. No. Murdered by the hands of Misty fucking Quigley. I said what I said.
I told you she was going to betray us. Misty was going to betray us. And she did
dude, come on. Are we really shocked? I mean,
no.
Is anyone surprised at all? I saw this coming a mile away. But I'm going to give a eulogy. Are you ready for this eulogy?
Yes.
Excuse me, I have to transition into old lady mode. Oh God. You know what? You know what also is dead? My hair. Oh my God. You know what? I can actually see far away without my glasses. Okay. Let me put the cup on. Jesus, I hope I never have to give a eulogy, because look, it's all about me. Here we go. To honor the memory of Crystal Kristen. I will. Oh God, Rory. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Electric word life. It means forever, and that's a very long time. But I'm here to tell you something else. There's something else. The afterworld. A world of never-ending happiness. You can always see the sun day or night. So when you call up that shrink in Beverly Hills, so you know the one I'm talking about, Doctor, everything's all gonna be all right. Instead of asking him how much of your time is left, ask him how much of your mind, baby. Because in this life, things are much harder in the afterworld. In this life, you're on your own. And if the elevator tries to bring you down, go crazy. Woohoo. I can't say that I wrote that, but that did come from Prince.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go crazy. To honor Crystal Kristen with her theatrics and love for music.
Yes.
I had to go with Let's Go Crazy by Prince and give her the quote of the week, which is, "You're not that good of an actress."
Which really hit home, because that's what my acting coach told me. I'm kidding.
I'm going to tell you what, I'd push the bitch over a cliff too.
Oh my God.
I would have pushed her over a cliff too. That's harsh. We can get into a lot of things about this episode. Crystal meets her death at the hands of Misty as they sweep deep, dark secrets. I mean, Chris, we go, okay, who hasn't played, I'm going to tell you something, you're going to tell me something. Crystal's like, I got finger banged once, and Misty just takes it. There's no stop. There's no 0 to 10 to 20 to 20. Yeah. It's 100 miles per hour. I broke the black box. I ripped the thing right out.
Wow, I'm really glad you did that.
What does she think Crystal was going to say? I mean, Crystal goes by a different name. She lets the team call her Crystal because she's never been nicknamed. I get it. There are deep, dark secrets. I've been called crazy bitch my whole life. Not the nickname I would have picked for myself as a child, but it is stuck. When I was biting the babysitter at 5, that's a little crazy bitch. Has not changed. What are your thoughts?
I'm heartbroken. I'm very heartbroken.
No backstory for Kristen.
No backstory for Crystal Kristen. But man, Kristen the Pistol.
Crystal the Pistol.
Kristen the Piston. That still works. I'm sorry, because like a car piston. But anyway, that's not the point. point is, I really I really liked that they were like, oh, here's a new character for us to get invested in, and then they killed him after four episodes because last week was basically filler.
They're killing off people that we really like, and they're not utilizing people that we want them to. I kind of feel like the Misty and Crystal storyline was really good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I could see this coming a mile away, though. I had a feeling when they very first connected for the first time over the poop bucket, Crystal's not going to make it to the season finale or mid-season. So I'm not shocked. No one should be shocked that this happened. And hey, I don't know what's going to happen next week. But something tells me, I don't know, Rory, I can't find my fly swatter. I think I know what they're eating next week. I think I know what they're eating. They're going to need the meat.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody's in labor.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Thaisa, I had a quick comparison. Nightmare on Elm Street, can we just say she's living in a Nightmare on Elm Street, and it's only a matter of time before Freddy Krueger shows up with fucking Javi. I mean, is that where Javi's been?
Javi is Freddy Krueger.
Javi's Freddy Krueger. We broke the internet.
I just want to go on
record and say that F you to all those people that crapped all over my Javi being the pit girl theory. Because I'm gonna tell you something right now. He's alive, and he hasn't been in a bunker. I'm gonna tell you where he's been. You ready, Rory?
Yeah.
Under the cabin.
Period.
Pooping in the bucket.
Oh, yeah.
Which apparently is a thing now that you're allowed to do because they keep taking it out. Fuck the rules, right?
Well, I think the pee bucket is inside. The poop bucket is in that outhouse.
Hello, Beth in the chat. Yes, Beth. I'm high and need an Allison sermon. Honey, you missed it. I did the whole eulogy. Go back to the beginning, rewind. You will not regret the beginning of this show.
Correct.
You will not regret it. Well, you might. In hindsight, I might regret some of what, I didn't write the damn thing, but it's the kind of eulogy I would want. Please, if anyone cries at my funeral, I will come back and haunt you. Don't cry. I want to party. I want my 80s playlist playing. It's time to get toe up from the flow up. Drink some Moscato. Back in my drinking days, that's Moscato, Redwood. Get crazy. Throw up everywhere, but not on me. Don't throw up on me. But throw up on somebody. I don't care who. Just not me or my grandson. You'll be all right. So, playlist. This week's playlist is short but sweet. 3 great songs. What's Going On by Four Non-Blondes was really, really big when I was in high school. That came out my sophomore or junior year. I can't remember which. It was 93, 94, somewhere around in there. Great. So I still can sing. It's just a great song.
And I love it. Like one of the few songs I didn't have to look up, actually. I was like, yes.
Fun fact, I can't remember her name, but the lead singer of that group used to be married to Sarah Gilbert from Roseanne and the whatever View. She was on The View for a while. Now she's on the Connors again. So that's fun fact. They have some kids. Second song, Danzig, Mother. Cause I can't sing the words cause it's copyright. What's going on? I'm sorry. I got to break out to Christina Aguilera. What am I? Christina Clarkson Aguilera - Underwood for the next song, which is third on the list. My favorite song, which will be one of my funeral songs, by the way, ironically called Staying Alive by the Bee Gees.
So good.
Which is the song apparently you're supposed to sing while giving the CPR, all of that. Stay alive, stay alive. Look, I got news for you, Misty. Kristen's dead. Crystal's dead. When she was giving her the CPR after the bitch flew off the cliff, busted her brains are everywhere. I swear to God, her head was turned completely around and bleeding out. And bless her heart, she's trying to give her the CPR. Yes, Beth, with CPR. It's crazy. Girl, you need to be watching this show, Elizabeth.
Yes.
You need to be. Everybody thinks this show's about cannibal. That wouldn't you say it's maybe 10% of the show?
I think they just try to hit you. They hit you with the shock factor off the bat with the pilot. Yeah. Otherwise, this is not a show about cannibalism. This is a show about trauma.
Yes. So we have a lot of things to cover, and like I said, this isn't going to be a long one, people. We're not. The only thing we're going to address about episode 4 is Javi came back. We don't know where he was, but I think my partner here and I are convinced he was in the moose's ass. He was up inside the moose the whole time. No, he was under the cabin.
Yes.
Hooping in the bucket. Beth has no idea what we're talking about. She's like, what am I watching? Just trust me. And I think that Lottie knew he was under there. Somebody knew he was under there. He apparently had... We don't know. We don't know what happened to Javi. They bring Javi up at the end of 4. Don't even glaze over him like he has a brief moment with interim regional to the assistant manager, Coach Ben, for like 2 seconds. And we get the whole, he takes a picture and he says, well, she told me something. And that was it. And so you bring back a major character that disappeared the second to last during Doom Coming, one of the best episodes ever last season, and you don't even address where he's been, what he's been doing. Why isn't this kid being interrogated? I don't care if he won't speak. There are ways to make children talk, right, Rory?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
am I right?
Completely.
Right.
Yes.
I don't care what I have to go to. The kid's talking. They make you want to say, what's going on? That's right, Beth, in the chat. Did it make you want to sing, Javi, what's going on? And she said, I said, yes. I haven't even started with the episode. I love it. I love it. Everyone has tuned out at this point, but that's fine. I don't give a shit. 0 Fox given. What did I say before the show? 0 Fox.
The bottom of the shirt for the viewers.
That's right. And yes, Beth, your profile picture is fire. I just want to say. Okay, so guys, Van, how awesome is it that Van is working, adult Van is working at a, okay, we're starting with the present. I'm going to go ahead and start. Van, how awesome is it that adult Van is working at a video store called Why You Were Streaming?
That is incredible.
A spin on While You Were Sleeping, the 95 Sandra Bullock classic that I've never seen. If I could zoom in, like this is me zooming in. I've never seen it. I don't have the zoom in that Rory has. Yeah, I know. What? You haven't seen a movie from the 90s? No. I think I had my first boyfriend. I was busy doing other things. I can't sue me. Yeah. Oh. So let me scroll down here to the present, which is, okay, ironically, their present is our past.
Yes.
Because it's still 2021, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So the last episode ended with Thaisa showing up at Van's video store while you were streaming, where Van sells VHS tapes and rents out VCRs. Is that a thing now? Like, I know everything's retro. We can't be in the moment of where we actually are. We have to keep recycling and recycling, especially with movies and everything else. And we're stuck in the 90s.
Very much, I think a cultural issue that we have is like we either want the newest, latest, and greatest, or it's like, ooh, let me look at records coming back. Like after they're like, oh, we got CDs now, but then now records making a comeback because it's retro and vintage and cool again. For me, I still have a shit ton of VCRs in this room because
Oh, I have
that's
a
what I
VCR.
grew up on.
Baby, I have a VCR DVD combo upstairs.
Period. Same.
Fight me.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I guess that is the thing. People are wanting to do all that because, you know, back in the day, to be honest with you, you could rent little bitty compact VCRs from Blockbuster and all those places. So there really isn't much to talk about with Thaisa and Van again in the present, other than Lauren Ambrose shows up, amazing, phenomenal. Love her, cannot praise her enough. She's popping oxy, blaming it on her dead mother's prescription. No, it's you. You dug it, you know, you got it out of the trash after Ty's. And can I just say, Ty's got a lot of nerve showing up unannounced, 1, at my house, 2, using my shower, and then 3, getting in my medicine cabinet and judging me because I have painkillers. Bitch, I was tied to you for 19 months in the wilderness eating people. You better just take a seat. I'm going to pop whatever's in front of me. And you're lucky it's not your face. Get out of my stuff. Right?
Like, get out. Like, you don't, like, literally, I don't care where you've been. Oh, welcome to my home. I'm gonna go through all of your personal belongings now.
Look, I'm no saint. Everybody opens somebody's bathroom cabinet. I mean, look, I stayed with Beth in New York and I had to poopy in her toilet, and it was a banana diarrhea episode. I'm not shy to admit it. Yes, you can zoom in. And I went in and I got cleaning supplies and I cleaned the toilet when I was done because I'm polite. Okay, that's how I roll. But no, it really wasn't anything. She spent the night, they watched a movie. Ty threw the pills away, and when Ty was asleep, Van went and got the pills. There's not much to say. She gave her a dirty pen. There's nothing really. I mean, is there anything we need to address here? I mean, they're not even. How are you traveling and winning a seat in office, and your wife is in the hospital, and you're where are you? No one is looking for her. I can't even. I'm gonna lose my mind.
No, I mean, like, she stole her assistant's minivan and the other ran out of gas
on the side of the road and fell asleep. How?
I don't think she actually, like, she just switches between personalities.
The other one, the dark one.
There was awake, but she was asleep.
Can we move on from this? Because I don't know what else to do other than Ty kisses Van. It's awkward. She confides in her about, and the best part of this whole meeting is her telling about the shrine with the heart and Biscuit's head and all of this stuff. And Van is just, so that she found it. That is a friend right there. That is like, oh, so she found your fucked up shit in the basement. What did you do? Not why, the how, why is your dog's head and a heart and your son's, you mutilated your son's favorite dog. You just did shit everywhere. You know, why? It's, oh, so she found, best part. That's the second quote of the week. Oh, so she found it. Like, what kind of shit were you doing? I can only imagine their flashbacks the rest of the way through the wilderness when they got back, if they ever lived together, and all of that. So, yeah.
Talking about Yellowjackets, Marissa.
Hello, Marissa. We're talking about Yellowjackets. So we're going to move on from Thaisa and Van in the present.
Yes.
So on a slightly lighter note, we're going to... Callie finds out that the man she met in the bar isn't actually named Jay. His name is Matt Sarusha, and he's a cop. And she immediately begins to form a plan, realizing how dangerous a situation she's gotten herself and her mom into, and tells, Matt / Jay that she found out who her mom is having an affair with. It's her dad's best friend, Randy. And at Shauna's direction, Callie also tells Matt that she found out her mom will be meeting with Randy tonight, all in the hopes that they'll follow her, as well as hopefully take her off the suspect list. of Who Killed Adam Martin.
Yep.
If this isn't a comedy skit of Randy and Shauna in the no-tell. Where's Larry? Can someone tell me where Larry, the hotel office clerk, is at this point? I need some more Larry. Larry would have been able to get the job done. And if he couldn't, I don't think he would have used strawberry scented lotion.
Oh, it was the strawberry lube. No, yeah. Could you imagine?
Can I just say something? He can't get it up in there to jerk off because they're trying to plant a condom with semen in it in the bathroom to make it look like that they did, and they're leaving evidence behind. Well, Randy can't do it. He squirts half the bottle. After they're done, the cop, Kevin and Matt/Jay, they're watching him outside the no-tell motel. Okay. And as soon as they leave, Kevin and Matt, they go in to scope it out to see what's going on. And Kevin's like, look, they had an affair. It's nothing. And Matt's like, Matt J is what we're going to call him. He's like, no, we'll call him J Matt. J Matt's like, no, I'm not buying it. J Matt goes in the bathroom. He's sniffing around. Dude puts his gloves on because he's ready. Picks up the condom, swirls it around. And Kevin's like, ew. And he smells it. He goes, strawberry. What immediately my brain went to the whole conversation 2 weeks ago with Jeff and Sean about I could have been a strawberry. You are wearing a glove right now. I'm so dead. I have blue gloves too in the hallway, only for when I clean out my cat box, not just for random uses. Maybe.
They're just in my pocket one day from work. But
the amount of lotion that he put in the condom looked like he's been backed up for centuries. I mean, it's like, dude. And like, it wouldn't have even have been, if he had just put a dollop of a daisy in there, it wouldn't even have been a thing. And I'm not a expert, but from what I've seen, don't you tie the end and throw it in the garbage?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you like to keep it from just to be neat?
Oh my God. I think it was more of a red flag that out of boredom, Shauna started cleaning the room. Because, yeah, you definitely just did something in a completely made room.
Well, he's been made now. J Matt's been made. Kevin's like, dude, you've been made. It's fake. They set this up, blah, blah, blah. Because last week she didn't threaten her daughter, but she did drive her out in the minivan in a field, which kind of scared me and admitted everything. And Jeff's like, oh, great. That happened. You told her, huh? Well, we're a family.
Yeah. We're going to be fine.
It's going to be fine. So that's happening. That's really all we got for that. So meanwhile, unless you want to address any more of the fake condom, anything.
No, I'm good.
There's this kind of Misty and Walter are the cutest couple. I love the montage last week of them. And I sent you a picture of me watching the episode with my gold eye masks on, which I was laughing because I had my neck, because I sit there with my neck thing on so I don't move my head while I'm doing my thingies. And they're putting their gold masks on. And I'm like, oh, we're all psychos. We all love cats, butterflies, and gold masks. Oh my God. And show tunes. Of course, I like movie soundtracks more like show tunes. So Missy and Walter are still out searching for Lottie's compound because they found where they sell the honey. I don't want to get into too much of Lisa and Natalie, Lisa going home, arguing with her mother and what's her name, Natalie stealing her goldfish in her mouth. Next. So anyway, I can't. Okay. This is why we didn't cover last week's episode.
Literally.
So they come across the compound, the gate. They're playing two truths and a lie and all this stuff. And luckily, sadly, we get to her two truths and a lie. And it's interrupted because she sees the compound because of the jar, the emblem on the jar of honey. which just happens to be a yellow jacket or a bee or something. Way off. How did you ever find that?
No way.
No.
Jacket under no-go?
No. Okay. Anyway, so they come across the gate. They go there. It is the right place. They're reunited with Natalie, who's pissed off. She's less than thrilled to see Misty. Walter, on the other hand, she's like, "Who is this guy?" He's, "I'm Walter. I've heard nothing but nice things about you." I love Elijah Wood so much. It is too much.
I love Elijah Wood, but perfect. I can't imagine anyone else being Walter now that I've had Elijah Wood. He's incredible. I love it.
Well, in this encounter with Natalie, which wasn't long enough for me, but she's like, basically, fuck off, Misty. I don't need you. I'm trying to do something here, whatever. And they get back in the car, and Walter's like, look, you're upset. I get it. But, you got to move on from this. But then he ends up taking it maybe a little bit a bridge too far with someone like Misty. Look, I know about your friends. You're playing it loose and fast in the chat. I get it. I'm on to you. You've all the traits. She has all the traits of a serial killer. She worshipped Kevorkian, who, killed people who were suffering. So you can't really pin her to the wall too much for that. And I'm probably going to be dragged for saying that, but I don't care. It's in my show notes. I don't want. So anyway, so they get into it. She's like, let me out. She goes to the compound and he just leaves. And she goes back to the compound and she's like, I need help. Please help me. Nya, nya, nya. And I'm like, oh shit. She goes in and there is Natalie. Like, what? Doesn't she see Natalie and Lottie? I can't remember.
I don't think so. I think we're going to get that.
That's next week. That's next week.
Yeah.
So that's just a little short version of what happened with them. But Natalie is still searching for answers and she gets into Lottie's cabin. This is great. You want to talk about jumping to conclusions before you do all your, like, how you're so pissed at someone and you find out something and you don't just follow through with the investigation and you just call them out. This here is a perfect example of just pay attention. If you're good, you better have facts and receipts for those receipts and more facts on the receipts before you call someone out. So like I said, she's searching for answers and Lottie. She finally, after 3 episodes, gets into Lottie's gosh damn cabin, finding all the members' phone numbers, personal information, including family history and bank accounts. She erratically confronts Lottie about it, who says that everyone voluntarily gives up that information and it isn't the scandal Natalie believes it to be. The conversation turns to Natalie in the past and her final times with Travis. As Lottie tells her to look at the light, she's flickering and going back to the last time she saw Travis. And, she had a job. He was, okay, I just lost what I was saying. Last time she saw him, she says, was on the beach. He had a job. He was seeing someone, and she wanted to ruin that for him. It seems like Natalie really ruins a lot of things for Travis, like hope.
Really?
That her brother's alive. His brother's alive. Like, this kind of started early. Like the hope that he would only be like the second guy she's ever been with. Like, this has been a no-go from the very beginning. I mean, like, hold on, I'm looking for, what I'm looking for. You know what's coming. It's been this the whole time from the beginning. From the beginning, Travis.
Oh, wait, leave the picture up. Wait.
Okay.
I'm not ready.
So there's all this. What are you doing? Tell me when to take it down.
Let's go.
You ready? When we take it down?
Take it down.
I know. I don't know where my freaking fly swatter is. I cleaned the other day. It was terrible. So there's just a lot of stuff going on, like the flashback, and apparently they go on a bender, and It's what always happens. She and Travis do lines of cocaine and she ends up overdosing. Not him, though. It's just her. And in doing so, she has visions of the crash site, but it's different. None of the team survived. We weren't alone out there, Natalie says, which never gets any less creepy the more we hear it. When she is revived, Natalie admits that she saw it, felt it, and they brought it back with them. She also now finally understands why Travis was saying she was right about something. The whole time there was some darkness out there with us or in us. It still is. It explains that Travis opted to hang himself to have a vision. There's something sinister that followed them back and won't leave them alone. Lottie then sees her shadow and notices it has antlers, further proving that she's an antler queen. However, in the flashback that Natalie has, you briefly see her in a white dress lifting like something like a veil over her head, and she's got the antlers on and her eyes are black. I don't know if you caught that. I caught that on the second viewing, and I paused it, and of course I don't have a picture of it. Go me. You know, I'm only doing a podcast.
I missed
you'll
it.
know what I'm talking about. Get in the group.
I missed it, but that scene also gave me my favorite line of the episode because I'm an adult. Ready? Let me get into it.
What is your quote of the week?
Fuck this painting.
Fuck this painting. Yes.
Fuck this painting.
That was the opening of their bender. Fuck this painting.
Fuck this painting.
Fuck this
I love it so much for no reason.
I just want to say that I watched the show Barry on HBO, and it has the guy. I can't remember his name. Why can't I remember his name? But anyway, there's a guy on the show that hires 2 hitmen who just in their free time host a podcast. And they do a podcast about gadgets. And the guy is bitching about, you have a podcast about gadgets. Why do you have a podcast about gadgets? I can't see the gadgets you're talking about. And the guys are like, oh, well, there's a link in the bio, in the you can go watch it on YouTube. And he's like, what? I'm driving in my car. I can't watch it on YouTube. And they're like, why don't you just click I can't control that. You can either listen to the podcast or watch it on YouTube so you can see what we're talking about. It's a show about gadgets. Why are you listening to a show about gadgets? And it just made me laugh that these guys were like moonlighting. they're freaking hitmen. And I'm like, well, someone needs to make a movie about this. Like, can you imagine Rory and you and I just got off a bender of, we got a hit before the show. That's why I'm really exhausted. That's why we're in black to hide the blood. Rory, you're getting kind of lazy with the body upkeep. I don't ask much. Just sling the bodies into the tarp. That's all I ask. Don't sling anything on me. Anyway. That went nowhere fast. So, yeah, I just thought that was funny. But I can't remember the guy from Saturday Night Live that's on the show, Barry, and he's one of my favorites. Bill Hader. Oh, my God, this guy. If you don't, you need to watch Barry. It's the final season, season 4. You need to watch. It's great. Season 3 is but if you struggle through season 3, it makes it worse. Season 4. And Hank is the guy that's bitching about the podcast. It is so good. Anyway, so now we're going to go back to the past. We're still in 96, I think. I don't know. They don't give us much to go on, especially with Javi. Yeah. So one of the biggest questions since season 1, Rory, has been, will Shauna manage her pregnancy out in the wilderness, and what will happen to the baby, or him, as we should say, when he, she, they are born? There have been many theories swirling around the Shauna's baby, with a particularly dark theory being that the team sacrificed it. I don't think that's going to happen. The only thing we know for sure, though, is that the baby is not Callie, because Allison's theory was stupid, and as the timelines simply don't match up. I personally had noticed something in episode 4. I don't think that anyone knows about Wilderness Baby. And I'm going to say it is because Jeff makes the comment before Callie comes home and confesses that she's been talking to J-Matt. They talk about, well, we only, you told her everything, Shauna, blah, blah, blah. We only have one chance to get this right with our only child. He kind of makes that comment. So to me, That is something I caught that is making me think, or it's set up. He doesn't know. Something has happened, and I'm really expecting the worst. The way she's in labor in the snowstorm with Thaisa, something's not right. Something is going on here. There's so much going on. It starts out slow, and then it goes from 0 to 100 miles per hour. We have so much going on. You know, Wilderness Baby would be in their 20s by now, whereas Callie's in high school. You know, I don't know. They keep referring to her, the baby, as he or Charlotte does. And Shauna even wakes up to Lottie touching her stomach and talking to him, and it freaks her out. She's like, oh, fuck this. No, I'm not into this. I'm not going to morning group therapy and listening to the trees and the wind and shit. I'm not doing it. And Thaisa starts doing it for Van. Happy life, happy wife. Happy wife, happy life. Boy, my husband needs to freaking repeat that mantra. Those are crickets. So, you know, like we said, Van is following Lottie. She's got Thaisa doing it, but Thaisa really isn't there for the right reasons for Lottie. Okay, and if that isn't enough that Shauna is uncomfortable with being pregnant and angry that Ty seemingly has flipped sides, she's also been having pains, which can only be the reason, you know, what's coming. So, and there's a blizzard, like I said, they got trapped and all this stuff. So let's get into Javi for a second. Because literally I have a sentence for Javi because they're not giving us anything. As the rest of the team, Javi is still Javi is still refusing to talk after having been found in the last episode. He obviously hit a little bit of puberty. His hair grew a teeny weeny bit, not enough to be Pit Girl. But he's there. He's alive. He's not saying anything. He's not even talking to Travis at first. Travis isn't even talking to him. Van's like, yo, Trav, you want to participate in this? We're only trying to get, you know, verbiage out of your brother. You know, and I think Travis is happy his brother's alive, that this changes his laser focus to Natalie and hating her for lying to him. My brother's here. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Hello, Natalie. I'm focused on you and your lying liar mouth.
Literally yeah.
Like, what is your opinion on that, though? Would you have lied? I mean, how do you feel?
I mean,
I get what she did. I get it.
I'm going to switch to my phone because I think I'm breaking up a lot.
Okay.
But I'll say it when I'm joining it right now.
Okay. I'm going to finish what I'm saying about this Javi stuff then while we're doing that. So Javi doesn't speak at all. The only person that he speaks to is Coach Ben, who's laid up in bed and looking worse and worse with each passing episode. And Javi says that she told me not to come back, to which Coach Ben, who is talking, you know, who are you talking about? And Javi simply responds, my friend. Though the conversation may be brief, it's nonetheless the chilling only further raises the question of who else in the woods was with them. He was under the freaking cabin. Somebody knew he was there. Lottie and Javi exchanged glances at one point. Something is going on. Lottie may have wanted him to hide to get people to believe in her more, because what would make you believe in Lottie more than the big reveal of Javi showing up, and she's been saying he's alive the whole time and she can feel his presence and all of that. And she could have been feeding him food under the cabin as well. So, okay, here's my little Padawan. There he is. Look at you. I don't think you're going to be zooming in, though. Why am I 50 miles away? I feel like I'm doing a show. So I was just explaining that I think Lottie knew that Javi was under the cabin. I think she planted him there. I think she's been feeding him. I think he snuck in and took a dump in the bucket. I think that she did that so people would believe in her more, because the more that she keeps going on and on that Javi's alive and that she can feel it, the more and more people will follow her when he does the big reveal and he does show up. I could be wrong. I did say Javi was Pit Girl 2 weeks ago, and I got dragged. You should see my ass. There's nothing left from the chewings that I got. People, calm down. It's a show.
I think what I think is interesting also, just kind of like quick to Charlotte, like present Charlotte, when Natalie's like, she's scamming all you, she's like, okay, yeah, that's not the right proof. Like, that's how I interpreted the present. So it's almost like Charlotte, like, I want you to believe me and I'm gonna cover up so that way I get you get the perception of me that I want you to have.
Yeah, and like Natalie is in on this. She's like, dude, you knew he was a lot. Something's going on here. Something's not right. I mean, Natalie will be the one to sniff it out, if anything. But I don't think that's ever going to come out. We still don't know if Javi makes it to the future. We still don't know if he is rescued. I'm sorry, my computer is making weird noises because it's trying to die. So we got nothing so far. Hopefully we'll get something next week. I don't know. So to round up this episode, the one and only Misty and Crystal are still at this point thick as thieves here. And when everyone draws cards for chores and one of them receives the task of dumping the poop bucket, they go out together, offering company and assistance for what is definitely the worst chore of them all. As they walk to the cliff and dump the dump bucket, the besties tell deep secrets. Crystal reveals her name is actually Kristen, but when she joined the team, everyone misheard her and thought her name was Crystal, and she never corrected them because she liked being called Crystal the Pistol, and she had never been given a nickname before. In the spirit of sharing things, what a Jesus Christ! What is happening to me tonight? In the spirit of sharing things, Misty reveals her deepest and darkest secret to Crystal, admitting that she found the emergency transmitter in the plane's black box and destroyed it. This naturally takes Crystal aback. Actually used the word aback. And Misty immediately begins to backpedal, claiming she was joking, but Crystal doesn't buy it and says that Misty isn't her best friend. She's a psycho. Misty tells her she will do anything in order for Crystal not to tell the team, and coldly states that she will, excuse me, Jesus, fucking kill you if she tattles. As Crystal slowly inches away from Misty, seeking a way out, she gets too close to the edge of the cliff and falls backwards. This sends, as soon as Crystal is linked up with Misty, her fate seemed relatively up in the air. It was just shocking to see it happen so soon and so heartbreakingly. Yes. Even in that moment, Misty jumps down the hill. She's trying to do CPR to her to the song Staying Alive by the Bee Gees in the attempt to keep her, but she's got to keep this secret. If it had been me, I would have said that the wind was blowing so hard that she walked backwards and fell off the cliff. I wouldn't have acted like I didn't know where she was, because it's going to be too suspect, according to Allison's investigative discovery Dateline, 48 hours, and all the other fucked up shows that I watch along with you. Listen. So she's right there where you dumped the duty, and you didn't see her back up. She was just gone when you were walking back. That is something I would have noticed right away. I would have been everyone, if you notice, is holding on to each other in the blizzards, Misty. So this might be where she learns to lie better and come up with a better story later on in life and do research for lying about murdering and stuff like that. But she is upset, and everyone is on the porch screaming, Crystal. Well, actually, everyone is screaming for Thaisa. No one is screaming for Crystal. And then Misty is sitting there listening to everyone call for Thaisa and Shauna, and she just starts going, Crystal! It's like, I guess I should scream too, even though I know the bitch ain't showing up.
Yeah.
But, it's just funny that even in that moment, Misty is disregarded, thrown away. Crystal is disregarded and thrown away like the duty in the bucket. And anyone who gets close to Misty is doomed, which makes me circle jerk back around to Walter.
Yep.
Who, by revealing himself and what he knows, I don't know. Do you think Crystal is going to be the next Buffet?
I mean, realistically speaking, that blizzard is gonna preserve her if Misty stumbles upon the body.
Wow. I could just see someone like Van coming up, or Mari being the gigantic bitch she is so far, who deserves to be Pit Girl. Van and Mari together, that combo coming across the body of Crystal, being like, wow, Misty, she's right there where you were, but she disappeared when you were on your way back.
I could see, like, they have plausible deniability. Just Misty has plausible deniability in the sense that, like, oh, we split up in the blizzard to try to find help.
Yeah.
And then she fell off. She must have fallen off the cliff. But yeah, like, Misty has to get a story straight if she wants to not be caught here.
What's happening next week, Rory? We got to wrap this up. What's happening next week?
So next week is the I was gonna make a literal joke. Next week is Cinco de Mayo, and I will be celebrating. No, I'm kidding.
Is next week Cinco de Mayo?
Next Friday it is. I literally just looked at the calendar to make a joke
May
about
5th?
Next week. I think next week's episode, I don't want to look into the fact that Elijah Wood signed a 1-season deal and think like they're gonna go back and find him. I'm hoping that he comes back. Like, I'm hoping.
Oh,
like,
we're gonna see him again.
I want to see Walter back. I think this is a good exit for Walter because, you know, he's a citizen detective. He has a theory that Misty is actually the one who killed Adam Martin, which could free Shauna if the citizen detectives have actual pull with the police department.
What if Walter is the undercover cop? What is he, if he's with the FBI or some hierarchy? What if he's actually the narc? What if it's him? Wow, I am far away from the camera.
Walter is actually FBI, and that's not a lie that he told Randy.
Yeah, like he was able to do that because he is FBI and he had to play dumb. Like, he's in deep cover. He's doing a great job if he's in deep cover.
Yeah,
I will give him.
Mm-hmm. Or he works with Jessica Roberts, because we don't have confirmation that she's like dead, even though, like, I know, like, season 1, obviously the poison or whatever in the
yeah, the bitch is dead. She's gone.
Oh,
but listen, guys, that's all we've got. I'm sorry, I'm a little under the weather, so we've got to cut this a little short. I'm sorry you can't have the regular 9-hour, but we'll be back next week. Well, depending on how this episode goes.
Yeah. I mean, like, the reality is like the week before this episode, it was the definition of filler for this show. It was literally setting up dominoes for them to be knocked over in this episode. I will just say, as a whole, I really enjoyed this episode, and I could even see a case for, like, this being strong enough to even be like a season finale. But, like, yeah, there's still too many questions. There's still, like, this past episode was, I think, the best one so far of this season. But we still have too many unanswered questions for us.
How many episodes are in this season, Rory? 10?
If it's the same as season 1, then we're in for 10 again. But
we're in the mid. This is basically mid-season. So anything can happen. And I'm not disappointed. I love this show. It doesn't have a hold of mine. Doesn't have a grip on me, a stranglehold on me like season 1 did. But you can never duplicate what you've got the first time around. But I think that my problem is I get what they're doing with Lottie and Natalie. Juliette Lewis is too good to be hanging around a cult commune right now. And I need a Walter, Natalie, and Misty combo. And I feel like we're going to get that. We're not done with Walter.
Correct. And I think actually, I think that's actually putting the thumb on what's like, why like this like momentum, I think, isn't like where it was with season 1 is, I think, as a narrative, we are in for present, at least we are very focused on Lottie, and we're very focused on the cult, and the momentum and the development and the rate of that right now is not moving as fast as I think it should be, because I think they're waiting for everyone to get there and have the reason to be there.
I think we could have easily combined the last 2 episodes into one.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's why we have combined the last 2 episodes into one. Thank you. Guys, subscribe to my weekly meltdown.
Yes.
You get live notifications when this shit goes live. We're also on Apple and Spotify as a podcast, but the Yellowjackets is not on there as a podcast. It's only on YouTube. So you have to actually watch it. And you can listen to it in your car.
Yes.
You can. You just don't have to look at us.
Yeah.
You can listen. Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're the most beautiful people on the channel. Come on. It's me and Rory. Well, hold on. I got crazy hair today. Look at my little nub. My hair's getting long. Look at that little nub. Look at it.
Not the nub.
Not the nub. All right, guys. Yes. We'll be back maybe next week. Definitely tomorrow night for Survivor 44. We'll see you then. Good night. Is this